The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. Prime Minister Davis vows to protect Bahamian interests as the government continues to review the Cuban medical program. Energy Minister JoBeth Colby Davis insisted the pipe deal is nearly done as BPL signs a deal for New Providence's first utility-scale solar plant. And UB selects a new president. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know it? It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Tuesday, March 18th, 2025. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Duquesa Dean will be joining us. Also this morning, we're talking with Bank of the Bahamas about their upcoming mortgage fair. And later, it's our monthly series, the Chamber Hour, with the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation. We're talking about potential impacts of that ongoing tariff war on the Bahamas. And getting an update on some of their international missions and a whole lot more with them this morning. That's all ahead on this Tuesday. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from all your top national headlines this morning. In the overnight, Prime Minister Philip Davis reiterating that the Bahamas is not engaged in forced labor and acknowledging the salaries of Cuban medical professionals who work in the country. Let's go to an agency in Cuba, something the government is reviewing. The Prime Minister saying yesterday, quote, only the medical professionals, a portion of their salary is sent to an agency in Cuba. I don't know the relationship between that agency and the government of Cuba, but we are now looking into that. As you may recall, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced visa sanctions on Caribbean countries that make use of Cuba's overseas medical missions during the COVID pandemic. And after the Bahamas recruited Cuban doctors and nurses, several Caribbean leaders have hit out against the policy, calling it unfair and unjustified. Davis saying, quote, none of the Caribbean countries will intentionally or knowingly engage or facilitate forced labor. It requires us to examine our arrangement to determine whether it is or not. Davis says CARICOM leaders are discussing their response to the U.S. Asked if he's willing to give up his U.S. visa, as some CARICOM leaders have said, the Prime Minister said, quote, we will do our part. We're going to respond. It doesn't require any loud mouth. What the Bahamian people will know is that I am for their interests. Whatever it takes to protect their interest, I'm willing and prepared to do. Davis insisting that the government is close to closing that deal with Pike Corporation to take control of Bahamas Power and Light's transmission and distribution system. Once again, she says there are a few matters that have to be discussed in regards to the transition agreement and relating to the secondment of BPL employees. She says, quote, discussions were happening between our transition committee, which encompasses union representatives, HR, and executives from BPL. She says she needed to get an update on where things stand at this point, but she still believes that they're close to finalizing that agreement. Colby Davis says, said as much in the House of Assembly earlier this month when she provided an update on the deal. The deal with Pike was first announced last June. Meanwhile, BPL signed a power purchase agreement with Madeline Solar Power Limited during a ceremony at the Blue Hill Power Station. It represents the first development of New Providence's utility-scale solar power plant system producing 70 megawatts of power for the island. Prime Minister Davis, speaking at the PPA signing yesterday, said the agreement accelerates the Bahamas' goal of having 30% of the country's power produced by renewable energy by the year 2030. Police say massive fires in Grand Bahama. Firefighters battling the blazes late into the night last night. Police say the fire started in 4 locations along Midshipman Road and Churchill Drive, as well as along East Sunrise Highway up to Churchill Drive, affecting both sides of the road heading east. The fires threatened homes and forced owners to grab hoses and buckets of water to soak their properties while they prayed the firefighters would gain control. A man serving 30 months in prison on sentence after he was warned it could be increased. Berkeley Sands was handed the sentence after he was convicted of possession of an unlicensed firearm and ammunition. Sands telling the Court of Appeal that he wasn't a criminal. He asked for leniency as it was his first brush with the law. Justice of Appeal Gregory Smith told Sands that the magistrate had taken this into account when he was sentenced. Smith said the court had upheld sentences of 4 and 5 years in similar cases. The court rejected a suggestion from prosecutor Darnell Dorset to reduce the sentence to 24 months. And the Court of Appeal unanimously overturning the murder conviction of a man whom a judge forced to represent himself, ruling that a miscarriage of justice occurred in the case. The panel of justices of Appeal, Stella Crane Scott, Indra Charles, and Gregory Hilton, ordered that William Etienne be retried for the August 28, 2018 murder of Alvin Strachan after they quashed his conviction and 57-year sentence. Prosecutors alleged that Etienne shot and killed Strachan at the FML web shop on Balfour Avenue and East Street after confronting him about talking to his mother. Etienne had requested a copy of the case file during a case management hearing. The prosecution and his court-appointed lawyer declined to give him copies of the witness statements. After he fired his lawyer, he turned over the file to him. Etienne later asked Justice Franklin Williams KC to allow him time to get a lawyer. The matter was adjourned for 6 days, and Williams warned Etienne that if he didn't have a lawyer when the matter was called up for a status hearing, the matter would be taken off the list and rescheduled. Etienne didn't have a lawyer on the adjourned date. However, Williams reversed his position during the status hearing and forced Etienne to represent himself after he accused the defendant of manipulating the court. The Prime Minister says that the increase in traffic fatalities is a wake-up call. In 2024, there were 11,157 traffic accidents in the country, 2,000 that led to injuries. In 2023, there were 51 traffic fatalities, which increased to 66 in 2024. So far, there have been 15 fatalities. He says the numbers are stark. As he introduced the Road Safety Awareness Week and a new safety campaign, Minister of Energy and Transport JoBeth Colby Davis encouraging students at R.M. Bailey School yesterday to practice safe driving and to inspire others to do so. And Dr. Robert Blaine III has been selected the next president of the University of the Bahamas. He's set to take up his appointment on July 1st. Chair of the university's Board of Trustees, Allison Maynard Gibson, said the appointment marks the university's 13th president since the institution's founding and represents a pivotal moment in the institution's journey. Overseas, Israel launching airstrikes across the Gaza Strip to at least 404 Palestinians, including women and children. The surprise bombardment shattered a ceasefire in place since January and threatened to fully reignite the 17-month-old war. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordered the strikes after Hamas refused Israeli demands to change the ceasefire agreement. Officials say the operation was open-ended and was expected to expand. The White House says it has been consulted and voiced support for Israel's actions. The Israeli military ordered people to evacuate eastern Gaza, including much of the northern town of Beit Hanun and other communities further south, and head toward the center of the territory, indicating that Israel would soon launch renewed ground operations. The attack during the Muslim holy month of Ramadan could resume a war that has already killed tens of thousands of Palestinians and caused widespread destruction across Gaza. It also raised questions about the fate of the roughly 24 Israeli hostages held by Hamas who are still believed to be alive. Peru's president declaring a state of emergency in the capital and ordering the deployment of soldiers to help police address a surge in violence a day after the killing of a popular singer. President Dina Boluarte's government publishing a decree saying that the state of emergency will last 30 days and authorities will restrict some rights, including the freedom of assembly and movement. That means the police and the army would be able to detain people without a judicial order. Peru has seen an increase of killings, violent extortion, and attacks on public places in recent months. Police reported 459 killings from January 1st to March 16th. And 1,909 extortion reports in January alone. But outrage crested after the killing Sunday of Paul Flores, the 39-year-old lead singer of a popular band. In Congress, opposition lawmakers requested a vote of no confidence against Interior Minister Juan Jose Santibanez for what they say is a lack of a plan to fight rising violence. The vote is expected to be plenary later this week. Flores was shot to death early Sunday when assailants attacked the bus he and his bandmates were traveling in after a concert in Lima. The attack against the popular singer was not the only violent event over the weekend. On Saturday, an object exploded at a restaurant in the capital, injuring at least 11 people. Again, college basketball taking center stage in March Madness. In a closely contested match, the Texas Tech University Raiders, ranked 9th nationally, managed to hold off Valdez VJ Edgecombe and the Baylor University Bears in the Big 12 Championship quarterfinals, 76-74. But Baylor still gets an at-large bid to the NCAA Division I men's basketball tournament and will play as a 9th seed in the East region. You can read more in today's Guardian Sports section. The Bahamas Football Association's Youth League showcasing young talent across the country. On Saturday, the under-15 boys team competed, leading to some exciting results. In the first match, Baja Juniors Atletico secured a victory over their opponent with a walkover. The match between Cavalier FC and Dynamos FC ended in a stalemate, with neither team able to break the deadlock. Both sides battling to a not draw. Bahamas Juniors Yellow facing off against Tambury FC, who won by walkover. And overseas, with Major League Baseball kicking off today, right now, which is Tuesday night in Tokyo, Shohei Ohtani and the champions, the Los Angeles Dodgers, are facing the Chicago Cubs. It's the first of a two-game series and features 5 Japanese players: Ohtani, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and rookie Roki Sasaki pitching for the Dodgers, while the Cubs have outfielder Seiya Suzuki and left-handed pitcher Shota Imanaga. The two MLB teams have been in Tokyo for several days playing exhibition games against 2 Japanese teams. All 4 exhibition games had a capacity crowd of roughly 42,000. Again, that matchup going on right. Watch that on Fox. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather for today. That cold front continues to move southeastwards across the islands, moving to the southeastern Bahamas today with some shower and thunderstorm activity. Meanwhile, high-pressure ridging is building across the northern islands. That will continue through tonight. So as you've been experiencing these windy conditions, that is a near gale warning in effect for the Atlantic waters until 6 a.m. Wednesday, while a near gale warning is in effect for all other local waters until 12 o'clock today, noon. That cold front is going to move out of the Bahamas and merge with a low-pressure system to the east of the area out in the Atlantic. And that's going to result in hazardous marine conditions along Atlantic exposures for the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands. High-pressure ridging will build across the islands for the next few days ahead of a dry cold front expected to enter the northwestern islands by Friday. So for today, frequent wind gust force are likely to continue across the area. Boaters, especially small craft, strongly urged to remain in safe port. If you're going in the water, if you're at the beaches, you're encouraged to remain on shore as rough surf and a high risk of rip currents pose life-threatening conditions. So for today, for most of the country, the northern islands, northwest Bahamas, and the central Bahamas, look for partly sunny conditions. Less than a 10% chance of showers. Winds north-northwest to north-northeast at 20 to 25 knots with gusts to near gale force. For the southeastern islands, as that front moves through, partly cloudy. Rain chances of about 20 to 30%. And winds northwest to north-northeast at 15 to 25 knots. Temperatures today, behind the front, we're looking at highs in the mid to upper 70s, around 77 Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius. Closer to where the front is moving through, for the southeast Bahamas, highs around 84 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. Lows tonight, for the northern and northwest Bahamas, in the low 60s, around 60 Fahrenheit even, 15 Celsius. In the mid to upper 60s for the central and southeast Bahamas, near 22, 23 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have more on your extended outlook coming up in just a bit.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, new day.
It's time for a break. But when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Spain sounds like this. But with a little Caribbean, it can sound like this. The world needs more Caribbean. And with FedEx, you can ship your products to every corner. With increased cargo capabilities, 24/7 shipment tracking, and shipping tools, take your business worldwide and enjoy life a bit more like us.
I am sure that you insure your car, your home, and you might take out health insurance. Did you know that your Bahamian dollar deposits are also insured?
Really? How so?
The Bahamas Deposit Insurance Corporation, DIC, provides financial protection with immediate coverage without any additional charges, up to a maximum of $50,000 per depositor.
$50,000?
$50,000? Think I break it.
That's right. Your deposits, whether a joint account, business account, trust, or your personal savings, are all protected by the DIC.
Yeah, boy.
But what if a bank runs into problems, you ask? Rest assured, your deposit and interest are calculated up to the date of closure, and payouts are made promptly, whether you're a local or non-resident.
I like the sound of that.
Just open an account with a bank or credit union that is a member of the deposit insurance, and that's it. You are automatically covered, no extra paperwork, no added cost. The Bahamas Deposit Insurance Corporation. Peace of mind assured, your deposits secure.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC's Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Here's a price list of some of the roofing material we carry at Pinder Enterprises. 5/8 pressure-treated roofing ply starting at $36.68. Gray Select Water Shield, $134.20. Felt, 15 pounds, $16.50. 30 pound, $19.80. Owens, Corning Duration Shingles, and Certainty Landmark Shingles, $56.56 a bundle. Gallon of roof cement, $33.47. All sizes treated dimensional lumber. And of course, we have all nails and all screws. We have 5/8 sheetrock, $28.76. Half-inch sheetrock, $22.18. All prices include VAT.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up,
welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Float Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796 on the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now on this Tuesday, Duquesa Dean. Duquesa, good morning.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Bahamas. Happy Tuesday.
Hope you're doing well. Glad to see you.
I am well. How are you?
Doing well.
Good. You look good this morning.
Oh, wow.
Refreshed and
if only.
Ready to just take this day on.
If only that were the case. But hey, let's speak it into power.
Yes,
yeah?
yes.
All right. We got a lot to talk about on this Tuesday. Coming up, Bank of the Bahamas will be here. They've got a mortgage fair coming up. We're going to talk to them about that. And then later in business, it's our monthly Chamber Hour series with the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation. Quite a bit going on in the business world. We're going to talk about the impact of the trade war that's going on. Yeah. Find out what businesses are saying about it, and what we should expect as consumers, and the trade missions they have quite a bit for this year. That's all ahead, but let's begin with what else is in the news. And in the news, there's a lot to talk about. More on the Cuban workers who are here as we learn a little bit more about how they're paid, some of them at least. And we'll get to that in a bit. UB has selected their next president. We'll talk about that as well. Still waiting for answers for all the details on the Pike deal. We keep this is every month we're told that they're close.
Almost done.
This is 25 years worth of negotiations for this 25-year deal. But yeah, almost done again. And while BPL signs a deal for New Providence's first utility-scale solar plant, and hopefully that will get the country closer to the goal of 30% renewables by 2030. It's only 5 years away, so we've got a lot of work to do, but that's going to help quite a bit. But I just want to quickly point to a couple of court matters. These court cases are really something else. Both have me feeling some sort of way, as they say. Right? Man drops appeal against 3-year sentence. Okay.
Yeah.
RTZ Davis writing about it. A man serving 30 months in prison on Monday withdrew his appeal against the sentence after he was warned it could be increased. Berkeley Sands was handed the sentence after he was convicted of possession of an unlicensed firearm and ammunition. Sands told the Court of Appeal that he wasn't a criminal.
What?
And he asked for leniency, as it was his first brush with the law. Justice of Appeal Gregory Smith told Sands that the magistrate had taken this into account when he was sentenced. Smith said the court had upheld sentences of 4 and 5 years in similar cases. So he definitely got it. Yeah,
he got a break.
And the court, now this is the part that upset me a little bit. The court rejected a suggestion from the prosecutor Darnell Dorset to reduce the sentence to 24 months. Now, why would the prosecution do that? Why would prosecutors?
Right.
Why?
Not the defense.
No.
Not the defense.
Why?
Right. That's very
Why?
interesting.
What are we doing?
I'm confused.
I'm very confused.
I could guess.
Sure.
But the prosecutor?
We aren't serious.
Wow.
And I'm glad the court rejected that. But yeah, first brush with the law. He's not a criminal, but he had an
So what do you do
gun.
if you're not a criminal? What do you do with a gun and a
ammunition?
And ammunition. Well, I guess
Which is a crime.
Right.
That makes you a criminal.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
What do you have it for? What's going on?
I don't know.
You're in danger?
It's confusing.
What's the issue?
Right. Is it personal safety? What is it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, so that one, one made me feel better about the place.
Right. Yeah, uphold the sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even though
the prosecutor.
Not light,
yeah.
it's a light-ish sentence.
That's
but
fine.
Okay.
All right.
This one though.
Yeah.
Court of Appeal orders new trial after quashing murder conviction. So the Court of Appeal on Monday unanimously overturned the murder conviction of a man whom a judge forced to represent himself, ruling that a miscarriage of justice occurred in the case. The panel of justices of appeal, Stella Crane Scott, Indra Charles, and Gregory Hilton, ordered that William Etienne be retried for the August 24, 2018 murder of Alvin Strachan after they quashed his conviction and 57-year sentence. Prosecutors alleged that Etienne shot and killed Strachan at the FML web shop on Balfour Avenue in East Street after confronting him about talking about his mother.
You literally killed someone, allegedly, since the conviction
Well, apparently,
has been...
no, not allegedly, he did it. After talking about his mother. Shot him.
Wow.
Etienne had requested a copy of the case file during a case management hearing. The prosecution and his court-appointed lawyer declined to give him copies of the witness statements. After he fired his lawyer, he turned over the file to him. Etienne later asked Justice Franklin Williams, KC, to allow him time to get a lawyer. The matter was adjourned for 6 days, and Williams warned Etienne that if he didn't have a lawyer when the matter was called up for a status hearing, the matter would be taken off the list and rescheduled. Etienne didn't have a lawyer on the adjourned date. However, Williams reversed his position during the status hearing and forced Etienne to represent himself after he accused the defendant of manipulating the court. Although Etienne represented himself, the trial judge allowed the prosecutor to make closing submissions. Public Defender James Thompson also complained that hearsay evidence was admitted with his case. The court will give a written decision at a later date. Okay. Boy, oh boy. Yeah.
That's a lot of confusion. Get a new lawyer. You don't have a new lawyer, so we'll put it off. But when you come to court, you don't have a new lawyer, so you represent yourself. And so now here we are with a quashed murder conviction.
Yeah, so they're
And a
ordering the
retrial.
retrial. Yeah, at least that part. At least they didn't throw the whole thing out. Just so challenging to get justice right here, it seems.
And how, what impact does this have on the victims' the family members that have to now go through this again?
And taking up the court's time and probably causing some other delays in other cases, and just really, really crazy. But shooting somebody for talking about your mother, though, I mean, wow.
Yeah, that's serious. That's really, really serious. There's so many questions I have. You know,
we'll see. Hopefully, this next case will, the next trial will follow along smoothly. All right, so let's get this out of the way. UB selecting a new president. For more on who he is and what's going to happen next, take a listen to this report from our Vonique Toot.
Dr. Robert Blaine III has been selected as the next president of the University of the Bahamas, ending a 9-month process that attracted. Blaine was among 3 finalists, including Bahamian Dr. Maria Woodside Oriaki. His 3-year appointment will take effect on July 1st. Chair of UB's Board of Trustees Allison Maynard Gibson says Dr. Blaine was chosen based on his vision for the institution and his expertise.
Dr. Blaine currently serves as the Senior Executive and Director of the Center for Leadership, Education, Advancement, and Development, and the Center for Municipal Practice, National League of Cities, based in Washington, D.C. The Board of Trustees selected Dr. Blaine based on his vision and expertise, paired with his commitment to transformative education, which aligns with the university's mission and strategic priorities. He brings a wealth of experience in implementing sustainable quality enhancement initiatives and leading through complex regulatory landscapes.
Before the successful candidate was chosen, the 3 finalists visited the Oaksfield campus separately to speak directly with stakeholders, including students, faculty, staff, donors, alumni, and representatives from the wider community and business sectors. She said the selection process was very inclusive.
The finalists were all qualified people, and as you well know, that finalist also included a Bahamian. At the end of the day, the board and the search committee, and also those who gave feedback, you recognize that there was feedback, felt that the candidate chosen, Dr. Blaine, was best suited of the qualified candidates to carry out the mandates that were stipulated in the presidential profile.
Maynard Gibson says the key considerations in Dr. Blaine's selection was his expertise to aggressively lead the attainment of national and international accreditation, enhancing research performance, nurturing Bahamian talent, and to unify staff and students.
Dr. Blaine will work closely with Acting President Janine Hodder to ensure a smooth and seamless leadership transition, one that provides continuity as the university advances its mission. To further support him, the board is establishing a presidential transition committee to serve in an advisory capacity, comprised of members of the board, university constituents, representatives of UTEB, the PMU, and BPSU, and leading industry and community representatives. Their broad range of expertise will be helpful in Dr. Blaine's successful transition.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Voni Tude.
All right, we can get your reaction to that and what we've talked about so far. You can give us a call, 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free. 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 42247. Let's see this caller here. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? Call us back. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. We'll see how this goes. July 1st.
Is it 3-year term?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3-year term. Okay, so do we have a program in place where there is mentorship for high-level positions that non-Bahamians or expats receive that actually work to develop whatever that Bahamian person may not skill or talent or whatever that cause them to be edged out or whatever? Like, how do we make sure that we are nurturing them to step into those roles after the more suitable candidate, whether right or not, has been with an organization for like 3 years, right? So that
you're talking about at the university or across the board
I'm talking
in
about
the
the
Bahamas?
university specifically, but also I'm talking generally. When we have expats come in, they come in because of the skill, supposedly skill set of the Bahamian or whatever, and they're supposed to come in, I think, with a view of helping to elevate the skill set of, and then leaving after that. So
I mean, people seem to say that at a middle level position, right? But never at the top. They won't say, "Oh, we need the CEO to be gone in 3 years and a Bahamian to take that." I guess you can't tell people that, but you definitely don't see that in the banks or the hotels or anywhere. So I don't know if that would be reasonable for the. But it's a 3-year term, so I mean, then you have to start this process all over again if he's not
right.
If he's
right,
not
renewed. Right.
But I guess the answer to your question is apparently not. I mean, not at the top. Not at the top.
Maybe it's something that needs to be looked at, especially for government-owned institutions or, quasi-government or whatever. There needs to be something, because that also helps the culture of the organization. When people see that the opportunities exist for them and they're not, whether that person is, really the best person for the job or not, there are other fallouts from that. And so when we now say, okay, well, these are some of the, impacts, how do we help this crew of people today to what we expect, that could definitely help. You understand what I mean? Like, I feel that if you have an organization and it's always an expat that's at the head, even though you have in the mix qualified or suitable Bahamians, and that expat is always chosen, there's an underlying message, whether real or not, that people are going to see in that. So how do we develop those at the top to take the very top position? If there are some deficiencies, or is it are there other issues? Is it trust? Is it like, I just need my man in the job? What is it?
I don't know. It might be experience. It might be whether you've been the head of different types of organizations in different parts of the world, outside of the country. Maybe that's it. So I've not looked at the qualifications of the folks in this round, so I don't know. But perhaps there is, well, as we heard, there's a team, and they looked at this,
right,
and they felt this was the best choice.
Well, Bahamians may need to go out.
We see that all the time, right?
Yeah.
You celebrated more
right.
once you've left the rock,
right, and someone
and
else
other people recognize
you.
your greatness.
Right.
Then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
you're a celebrity in the
Correct.
Bahamas, and that's
something.
It's something.
Yeah.
Right.
We
I don't
just
know if
to
it's
say
bad. I don't know if it's good.
Yeah.
But it's certainly something.
Yeah. It's something.
Let's hear from you. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Good morning.
And good morning to Quessa.
Good morning. How are you?
Well, let me make a little disclaimer here. For the callers and the riddler them who's calling and say, oh, I need my own talk show, right? It ain't that, It's just that early in the morning, so I have to get my little contribution in as a Bahamian because I got to go to the hospital at a certain time.
Who said that you need a talk show? Who said that you need your own talk show?
The riddler.
Oh, I don't know who that is. Okay.
And the riddler said something that it ain't to you and me. But I just want to say that the only reason I was called early is because I try to get my little contribution in before I have to leave.
Don't mind the Riddler.
Pardon me?
Don't mind the Riddler.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that.
Focus.
I like that name, the Riddler. But listen, to Quessa, I kind of on your line exactly this morning because it is always said that Bahamians are not accepted in their own town. Now, that same Bahamian that comes up second or third to whoever this new person is to lead the college, the university, that person will go abroad and become the head of a university over there. So the problem what I see happening over here is we got the same old players still involved in all of these selections. And like the one that was on this morning talking, they need to go home and retire because they holding back the entire system. Now, the next thing, lawyers. Dwight Duquesa, are there any lawyers out of the 1,500 lawyers in this town worth their salt?
Wow. I'm sure at least a few.
Yeah, I'm sure a few of them.
Be a couple.
You're sure?
A few, I'm sure.
Because, Dwight, the minute you mention something like you got to take on, unless it's Fred Smith, them, you got to take on the government or you want to take on a government entity, push crack, all 1,500 of them gone. Mm-hmm. You can't get no lawyer to what's worth their salt, Dwight, to do anything. Now, an excellent case, I already sent for papers, people in papers. I got all that in my possession, but I can't find no lawyer worth their salt to want sit down and talk to me.
Oh, boy.
And when they talk to you, they tell you $200, $300, $500, and then turn around and tell you, I can't deal with your case.
Well, I don't want to get myself sued, but, I suspect many lawyers around here are very reluctant to do certain things because they're looking for nominations or board seats or something like that, you know?
to not get blacklisted
Huh?
or that sort of
They don't care
stuff.
about
Like,
that.
you
But
know.
they want to, they're looking out for their future. I suspect that's just me, but don't sue me,
let
lawyers,
me put this
please.
clarion call. Let me put this clarion call over. I got 2 seconds more on Guardian Radio. If there is a lawyer out there worth their salt, call GNN at 565-0931. That's worth your salt. Thanks for taking my call, Dwight.
GNN, you're kind of scary, though. I could see why a lot of lawyers might not be willing to. Oh, you got a lot of information, a lot of.
Oh boy!
Every week you reveal something that we're in shock.
Yeah.
We're shocked to hear afterwards. So it could be you. It could be you. But good luck. Good luck. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, DeQuesta.
Hi. Good morning.
Like GNN, I too like to make my contributions early because once I get in on my job, it's virtually difficult for me to participate, at least in phone, unless I go on a break. So I like to try get my calls in early. So GNN, you're not alone. GNN has brought up a few interesting points here. First and foremost, we have to understand that lawyers are in a fraternity. You talk about going to sue the government or going to sue a particular person representing the government or whatever, and it's going to be a problem. They're not going to take it on, especially if you talk about going after the big guns. They're not going to take that on. Okay, and it's sad because justice is supposed to be blind, but it has to be served, and we all know that. He has responded to the other aspect of what we are talking about this morning, and that is, it is sad that still today we have persons who, in this country can offer valuable contributions to helping to fix our society, but yet a prophet is not known in his own country. He has to go to another country in order to be recognized, for our country to recognize him. And even if he comes home, he still won't be given any top position in this country. And it's sad. Dr. Ian Strachan, and I'm calling that name in particular, has on numerous occasions, and yet it's like he's rejected. I am trying to figure out why. If he is qualified enough for Grand Bahama, then what credentials does he not have in order to take on the leadership of the university? You see, these are the questions. It is questions like these that many Bahamians think about. They may not say it out loudly enough, but, enough is enough. When are people going to elevate to these positions, being paid the top dollars that most of these persons get the perks that a lot of these persons receive, but yet because you are Bahamian, you can't get them? Or do you have to be a part of a certain clique? Because that's what this country is all about, cliques. We have to fix this problem. Let Bahamians get their just due in this country. We want to build this country. We want to bring our expertise here. We want to use it here to fix country. And if this is the route, in closing, that we're going to continue, we will be on the same conversation in the next. Trust me on it. Okay. So thanks for taking my call this morning, and keep up the great job you're doing, Dwight.
Thank you
because
very much.
Trust me, people are listening to this program every morning, even if you don't want to believe it. But thanks for taking my call this morning.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thanks for calling in.
I believe it. Yeah. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, sir. And how are you today?
Doing well. Good morning.
Before I proceed, I want to belatedly wish DeAndre Cartwright a happy birthday, belatedly.
Yes.
Because I was born in March, and I love everybody that is born in March.
Okay.
So whether she's there or not, I want to wish her happy birthday. Is she there?
No, she was here yesterday.
No problem.
You missed her
I
yesterday.
want to be on the record. I also want to have your Facebook page because I want to add my contribution on your Facebook page. But now let me go to my matter of concern, the matter of the appointment selection for the president of the University of the Bahamas, UB. Now, initially when you brought up the topic, I said Dwight should excuse himself from this topic.
Oh, really?
Initially, listen, man. Oh, take it out. Initially, right?
Wow.
I said that might be a conflict of interest, you know. But afterwards, here is my contribution. First of all, I don't think as an educator we should have leaders limited to short terms, shorter than the duration of students who are matriculated there for a 4-year program, and then
That's
you have a
interesting.
president for 3 years.
That's very interesting.
Right? I'm
Okay.
saying that, I'm saying, but that's UB, you know.
Yeah.
All levels of schooling. So we have the primary school may have children may be there from preschool to grade 6 for 7 years, and you change the principal every year. I don't think that's it. You have teachers who are there for 10, 20 years, and you have the leaders, you know, or the top administrator only there for a short time. So that's my fundamental concern matter on it. And in that regard, here it is, when you bring in someone, the persons who were there before have to be the one coaching them, training them, and then to have the job that you could have had or you should have had. So those are my concerns, but nothing else is no vibe, so to speak, on any one case. But that's my concern. I think we don't really consider those things. We just consider perhaps, as you said, bringing somebody from far, because the person's going to get a lot of money, right? So you don't want anybody locally, perhaps, to get more money than X, Y, or Z. Don't know what is the real concern.
Yeah.
But all these fanciness about the experience the person has and the days the person has, that person is getting when they get the pay, and then their job is done, they are gone, and we are all here.
Very interesting. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. Let's take one more call on this, and we're going to read some messages, and then we have to take a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, Dwight. Good morning, and good morning to your host.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I thinking about this University of the Bahamas. You know, they had a choice that they made, and I'm wondering if the approach to how they go about filling that vacancy, maybe they should reconsider that. And I reflect on when an organization as complex as the Defense Force first started, we didn't have Bahamians to spearhead that. But it was at that time that they went outside, specifically outside of the country, and brought back British qualified persons to spearhead it. But they identified a pathway and a set of procedures that Bahamians would have to undergo and then embed themselves in the organization and, you know, have that experience so that once the position become available, you had enough candidates within the organization to just choose from. And I'm wondering if, while academics is different in a way from the naval organization, there's a lot to be admired about it. Had a very deliberate intention, and so did the police force, in making sure that they arrive at a point where there will no longer be foreign persons heading those organizations. I'm only sitting back today and thinking that it's time the University of the Bahamas makes a deliberate decision that they will create a culture and environment where the head of that organization will forever be Bahamians. That's just my view. I don't know if you would agree with me, but I think that we can arrive at a point where we no longer fishing outside of the Bahamas for suitable candidates for the
Very
university.
interesting. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Let's see. Take one more call on this, and then we got to move. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning. It's Strong. Good morning to the aggressor.
Hi.
You know, Dwight, I'm always taken aback by GN. I appreciate the contributions. GN, just keep it going. You know how it go. God control this. Don't worry about man. But, you know, Mr. Strong, as it relates to Dr. Ian Strong, right? I agree with Mr. Jeff Teller. You know, if a dummy like me, you know, every time he speaks and he comes on the radio, even when I listen to him, right? I never really disagree with this guy. I don't even never remember disagreeing with nothing what he's saying. And I actually know some of the information and being resourcing certain information. So when I don't judge people from, like, you know, a politician, when they speak, they believe everything come out their mouth is just, it sounds good and it's actually true. But the Bahamian people, right? GNN is painting a very dark picture for this country, right? And I'm afraid at 60 years old, we are being ostracized and by the status quo, and we are being subdued and muzzled against status quo and status quo narratives, and I mean biased narratives. And it is obvious. And so I've been into situations like that as it relates to police brutality where lawyers, they tell me doctors should tell me they wouldn't waste their time and go and testify. So what I'm saying is, you as a citizen have no rights. When you look at the injustices, Jeff made a point, said justice is blind, but apparently justice is very, very visible. And it's not blind, but it is selectively visible, okay? And it's obvious because when you look at certain scenarios, you have no rights here. And even you see foreigners come in, even as it relates to, I mean, so this is the height of dictatorship, because you can't do anything against the government, but people can come, even as it relates to the hospital and all. There's no ombudsman, there's nothing. If you go to the hospital, because it's a general main place, and they have people who come in, and there's interns, and if they make a mistake on you, nothing happens. And to make you believe that they was not at fault. But here's another problem also. When you have police officers who intentionally hide their numbers on their uniform whilst doing roadblocks and different things, because I saw a very frightening scenario in which somebody blatantly thought a driver heard them saying this person is their family, led them through. They didn't have no license, no nothing, no this and that. And the person, I didn't even talk about. What I'm saying is there must be some form of visible accountability where citizens have a right to express their concerns. And so even as I like to wish the Bishop Gomez a good recovery, and for those who know him to rally around him and support him. I just like the Bishop. I know he encountered me as a young man. I'm even sorry to hear that. You know what I mean? For the country to lose somebody like that right now. But
well, we're all praying for the best. Yeah.
No rights.
Okay.
Bless him, yeah.
Thank you very much. Wow. Let's read these messages as we go to the break. This person says here, so Dwight, this means that UB will not get accredited first because it'll take him 6 months to a year to learn the organization. Can you say anywhere else in the Caribbean where foreigners are the president of a university? I don't know.
Good question.
I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case at some, at least, but I don't know. I'm seriously asking because this is just sad for the Bahamas that we clearly have a major leadership crisis on our hands. Well, I don't know how this will impact the accreditation process, but that's an interesting question. This person says here, we always talk about Bahamians first and wonder why people are leaving the country, from teachers to nurses. If a Bahamian was qualified for the job, why hire the foreigner? Or does the United States just always produce better eggs and presidents? What? I think that's what it is.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
Well,
You had to plug the eggs in.
if the lawyer affiliated with either party, then we all know they ain't doing nothing unless it is for party or money. Ain't no good conscience with that profession. Oh, boy. Okay, well, it's getting very specific here. You're right, Dwight. They don't do nothing but focus on their career, not justice. Did I say it like that? I don't know if I did. But again, you can't sue the government because then you likely won't end up being a KC.
Right.
And that's very important.
But it's not just in that one profession. It's also doctors, and it's also you can't necessarily sue because then who can take care of you? Who can touch you? Right? So it's like some blurred stuff there,
Well, that's an interesting point.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Being Bahamian is not sufficient for university president. Those positions typically require the individual to have links to big money or to have the ability to establish links to big money. Check universities around the world. They thrive off those donor funds, not tuition. If the university's goal is to become an educational, technical, research, etc. powerhouse, the candidate UB chooses will have to have fundraising as a great part of the criteria. That's an interesting point. I've heard that before. And this person says here, more crackhead games when we stop shooting marbles and pick up Bobby Fischer's chess book. This system of excluding qualified or certified Bahamians that want to move our nation forward is a part of an agenda. We don't have qualified nurses, teachers, doctors, civil engineers, hotel managers, or even domestic help. Really? Work permits are business. People that expose corruption and speak truth will never be invited at the nation-building table. That's you're onto something there.
Yeah.
You're definitely onto something there, and we know that certain people have definitely spoken up and out and are stuck as a result. My goodness. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're back in just a bit.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Got your first look at traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. Just a quick word about some roadworks going on. Blue Hill Road South for the majority of the week. Look for some work to be taking place between 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Not sure exactly which part of Blue Hill Road South. That's a big area, but keep that in mind. And follow the posted signs or avoid the area if you can. That's Blue Hill Road South, 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Roadworks taking place. In your real-time traffic right now on the streets of New Providence, Blue Hill Road is very, very busy for you. That's Blue Hill Road South. South of the roundabout with Independence Drive, heavy traffic for you northbound, especially from Carmichael straight up to that roundabout with Independence Drive. And you're going to see some congestion near St. Vincent Road as well. A little bit further south, Zion Boulevard, Cowpen, and at that intersection with Blue Hill. It's going to be busy for you, especially on the Cowpen side. That's eastbound, very slow-moving traffic there. Over Milo Butler Highway, heavy traffic from well south of the Fire Trail roundabout if you're heading northbound, all the way up to Tonic Williams Starling Highway. Traffic backed up along Fire Trail both directions right now. Gladstone Road busy for you as well, north of Fire Trail on the way to John F. Kennedy Drive, Bahamas Boulevard. Slow-moving westbound traffic on Carmichael to Coral Harbor Road. Heavy traffic on Eastern Road. Westbound, just east of Fox Hill to Johnson Road. And a bit of slow-moving congestion again near Shirley Street and Village Road if you're on Eastern Road. Prince Charles Drive busy for you heading into Robinson. At all the major intersections, but especially near Beatrice and Soldier, Robinson. Very slow moving up to about Old Trail. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Reminding you to start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you. We'll be back with more morning blend after these messages here on Guardian Radio and the news.
It's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Calling all Alive Fiber basketball NBA Finals live. You can enter an all-expense-paid trip to not one, but 2 NBA Finals games. It's simple. Just sign up for our Alive NBA League Pass or Infinite Sports X package by May 16th. Stay connected, enjoy blazing fast internet, and score your chance to witness the NBA action up close. Don't miss out. Visit AliveFiber.com and take your shot at NBA glory. Terms and conditions apply. It's good to be alive.
Everybody Wins Live is bringing you the ultimate giveaway, a brand new Cybertruck. For every $30 spent, you're in the drawing for the ultimate grand prize, a Cybertruck. Join live at the Vibes Cartel concert March 29th. You'll also be automatically entered to win tickets to see the world boss himself. 25 lucky winners every single week. Visit everybodywinslive.com to get into the game. See website for full terms and conditions. Must be 18 or over to participate.
Sun is going down, time is running out, no one else around me. Steady losing light, steady losing my mind, over shadows and gravity. Without you, there ain't no place for me to hide. Without you, there's no way I can sleep tonight. What I do for a little bit of peace and quiet. Without you, I keep slipping in the but there's no you and I. No sound when I cry. I love you and I need you to set me free.
are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Duquesa Dean on this Tuesday morning. Coming up, we're going to be talking with Bank of the Bahamas about their mortgage fair. And later, our monthly series of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce. A whole lot to talk to them about the impact this tariff war is going to have on the Bahamas, having already on the Bahamas. We're going to get into that with them this morning. That's all ahead. But we continue with what's in the news. We're going to move on from this UB topic, but this text just came in. I'm going to read this one. This person says, it is a weak excuse to say a Bahamian president cannot raise money. UB can contract lobbyists and others to generate leads and introduce them to the president. Maybe the board just prefers non-Bahamians, although you would think someone who already faculty would make a better choice.
Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you. It's interesting. It's very interesting what's happening.
You know, we have to call on them to make this be a transitionary type thing. This particular president to have mentorship role for the next Bahamian who is suitable and qualified, whoever that is. And whatever elements are missing to make sure that they know how to for that, so that a Bahamian can rightly step into the role with all of the qualifications.
Wow.
You know,
See, that's interesting that you're saying that. We're talking about this off air, right? That since we've been on the air here, since Guardian Radio's been on, since Morning Blend's been on, 13 years next month, I believe I've interviewed 4 different UB presidents. There's been at least 4 different people who've been president of UB in that short period of time. We were talking about Dr. Sidney McPhee, who's the president of Bahamian, who's the president of Middle Tennessee State University since 2001.
24 years. Yeah.
So what's that about?
Right. Because it's unstable to change every 3-4 years, right?
Sometimes much less than that.
Yeah. How do you give stability to the organization?
Yeah, it's a serious issue.
You know.
And but what you're suggesting there would be that in a few years there'd be another one, right? And what impact is that having on UB?
Correct.
Because every few years the vision changes. There's plans, we're going to have a big giant dorm. Then new president, that's out the window.
Right. You can't have that, continuous improvement or continuous.
Sounds very familiar.
Right, it does actually.
Sounds like the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. UB is just reflecting the Bahamas, and oh boy, that's problematic in many ways. Let's take these calls really quickly. We got to move on from this because we need to get to this Cuban story again. But caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning. I have moved on from it. We will have an artificial intelligence president that will solve the problem. I call about breaking news in the ceasefire in Gaza. Israel has killed over 400 persons, and by breaking the ceasefire, by not meeting its part of the ceasefire, and demanding that its new terms be accepted by Hamas. So they have blockaded the entire Gaza Strip, have the people there on starvation, no life support, and they're killing them. And that's what the world needs. So I'm calling for the United Nations. I'm calling for the Security Council. I am calling for them. So I will deal with that some more. I hope the world will deal with it.
Well, we talked about it in the opening part of the show, the news, and very interesting. According to the Associated Press, the White House agrees with what Israel is doing. So, yeah. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, Dwight.
Hi.
Yeah, man, Dwight. When I hear a lady on the radio station this morning talking with you, right? That sends some bad feelings to me, man. These people, in my opinion, they really don't appreciate the efforts what Bahamian people just be making in this country or in this world, because if you gonna have you could have a Bahamian would made it to the finals and still didn't. So what? Whom called support Hey man, come on, man. We tried to go to Bahamas and encouraging, and then some, or the one boat we be encouraging Bahamians to do this and do that. But in the next boat, once they reach in those positions, then we find other persons to put over them. For what? We need to that lady. She needs to go home for real, like what the gentleman said, because it seems like if you're not a PLP, you can't get no way under these people, and we don't like to say it, but it's the truth. If these people were just mainly Bahamians, we would have been better off, But they put too much politics in the front of things. What needs to grow this nation, man? Have a nice day, Dwight.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. All right. We're going to leave that there. Let us move on quickly to this. Prime Minister Davis vowing to protect Bahamian interests with the Cuban work program. I don't know what's the best way to call this, but again, reiterating that the country is not engaged in forced labor practices and that they continue to review the programs. Prime Minister was asked about this yesterday. Take a listen to what he had to say.
In our case, I can speak to specifically, before we engage anyone from Cuba, we send a team of professionals, sometimes numbering up to 12, interview persons who would like to fill the needs that we have. And that has been the case. We will not intentionally or willingly engage in matters that amount to forced labor. In fact, our Constitution it is enshrined in our Constitution not to participate in forced labor or slavery.
Can we anticipate you might possibly taking the bold step like your other regional? Can we anticipate you taking a bold step like your other regional partners who said they're ready to risk it all and give up their visas?
Well, we will do our part. We're going to respond. This doesn't require any loud mouth or what will happen at the end of the day. What the Bahamian people will know is that I'm in for their interests. Whatever it takes to protect their interests, I'm willing and prepared to do. And we'll be responding comprehensively to requests asked of us. And if that does not find favor, well then, so be it.
Prime Minister, do Cuban workers in the Bahamas receive their full salary directly, or is a portion sent to the Cuban government before being remitted to them?
Well, not as far as I'm aware. Only the medical professionals, a portion of their salary is sent to an agency in Cuba. I don't know the relationship between that agency and the government of Cuba, but we're now looking into that.
And you feel this?
Okay, Prime Minister Davis today says that the medical program money is sent to an agency. Doesn't know the relationship with the government, but you know what the relationship with the government is. It's Cuba. Come on. But they also need to say whether that's the case for the educators as well. So let's talk about that very quickly. How do you feel about that? They're not getting their salary directly, as people have been saying. What percentage do they get? We don't know.
Who determines that percentage?
Definitely the Cuban government. But that is the case. Again, I don't think anybody's here against their will.
Right.
But how would you feel if it were you, right? You get a job abroad, but the money goes to the Bahamian government and they give you what they feel like you deserve. Why wouldn't that work?
Why do you need my money? I don't
gotta help the country.
I'm not a burden to your country. I live someplace else.
But so we're all in this together. That's the system we have.
But the cost of living in the Bahamas is high, right? So who determines what percentage of their salary, and is that even sufficient? Does that now mean that, and I'm just throwing things out, does that mean that they have to take on additional unreported jobs to make money to try to make ends? You've been to the grocery store recently?
Scary.
Seriously?
So from what we're hearing, this needs to be confirmed, right? So the government pays for the board.
The room board, right.
But yeah.
Right, so they have to feed themselves. There are still other costs involved in living here, right? So I would like to know what the percentage is.
And then what? then
that
you
they-
will feel some sort of way about
no,
the
I'm
program,
just
or
curious.
if
I already feel some kind of way about the program.
if you hear they get 25% of the salary.
I'd be outraged.
So what does that mean?
You
Should
know?
we stop it, or
Yes.
will you just be, oh well?
I mean, I don't know how much power we have in this negotiation,
Who's
but
we?
definitely
Who's we?
like this country, like this agreement. I don't know the big agreement was made, why it was accepted.
You're getting the labor. You need it.
Yeah,
you need
but-
the teachers. You need the doctors. You need the nurses. You
Yes,
need it.
but they live here. They
Uh-huh.
work here. They contribute here. So why is the bulk of their salary or a percentage of their salary, maybe 10%?
Because that's the system they
Okay.
are under.
So-
Knowing this, what do you say?
I mean, I understand that they're still Cuban citizens, and so they're subjected to whatever that is. They're not technically Bahamians.
And this is a limited
And-
time contract.
I like it.
So
It's a
what do you say? Cancel it or have to live with it?
Well, in the short term, we need to focus on getting Bahamians skilled in the areas that we're bringing them in for, right? And making it attractive for Bahamians to want to be nurses, doctors, whatever we're bringing these people in to do, we need to focus on getting a cohort together and training Bahamians and giving them incentives and paying them appropriately so you the country to get the work that you need. And then Bahamians need to also be willing to do that because not everyone is going to be paid $3,000 a week, right? Some of us are going to be paid $250. Some of us are going to be paid $450, right? And so the whole mindset around filling some of these positions need to be looked at as well.
Yeah. All right. Let's take these calls really quickly. Running out of time. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, are you there? No, let's take the other. Hi, good morning. We can barely hear you.
Put it on speaker. You can hear me better now.
Yes.
Sorry about that. You know, I agree with what Ms. Bain was saying just now. But you say cancel. No, you asked the question. No, we can't afford to cancel the education part, neither the medical part, the doctor's part. All of them people them get help with their glaucoma. I mean, eye surgeries and different things like that. No, we can't afford. Most of the countries, I don't think they would agree. I mean, would be thinking a way to cancel it. But everything she said, that's what we need to start working on. Then we could cancel it. Whilst we still continue it, we could work on all them things, Ms. Bain say, just not treating the people right, paying them, giving them incentive. That's what you do just now with the Prime Minister talking. I kind of should disappointed again. I think he should have known by now from the story he was talking about the agency or who the people is or if they paying directly to the Cuban government. Yeah. I think he fall down with that. I think the Cuban government and their people need to deal with their dirty laundry. Sort that out, man. We still want to do business with them, man. It's something we should be able to do so the American people them don't think with
Says it's dirty. The Americans are saying it's dirty.
I know you said I think dead with the call, University of the Bahamas, but I can't say a half a second or something, please.
Very quickly.
Okay, I say that's something that we used to pick our prime ministers like that, our politicians like that, go overseas and look for themselves who might be more educated or who we don't know too much Romans. But the question is, why? Why are we doing? I think we had a Bahamian before at the university or the court.
We've had we've had a number of Bahamians. Yeah, we've had a number of Bahamians. Yes.
Yeah, but why do they really have to go outsource? I mean, overseas to get them? And we have a lot of qualified lecturers here. And what's up with Ian Strachan? How come he ain't president by now? Is it personal? Is it politics for real in this? I'll hang up and listen. Thanks.
Okay. Well, in this last go round there. One really quickly, let's take these. Good morning, you're on the air. Are you there? Turn on your radio for us, please.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, Dwight. I am a little confused here. This is something between the Bahamas and Cuba, right? Who make U.S. God? U.S. is the most corrupt nation in the world. They just dangling a carrot in the front of us, saying if you don't do this, we can take your visa. Come on, man.
Well, I mean, okay, so most corrupt, that's a lot. I don't know if that's accurate. But it is an interesting thing, as you heard. Okay, he's gone. As you heard, I think people would feel a little more comfortable if they were paid directly. You're working here. Right? But that's not the case.
But I want to know the other side of it because the Cuban workers, are we hearing from them? Like, are
they allowed to talk?
I mean, right. But do they have concerns about this? Is this something that bothers them or is this just their way of life and they're happy You know,
that would be good to know.
You know?
Like, hey,
Yeah, it
y'all
would be good to
don't
know.
watch
Right.
nothing.
Right.
We're fine. Tell America. Lift the embargo. Good morning, caller. On
Mom is Dane. Just quickly, Dwight, just some points, and you can discuss it afterwards. Just question: do you think we should also protest the average 30% that U.S. citizens pay for income not earned while in the U.S.? Maybe the Cubans should just pay 30%, just like they do, because this is bigger than that point. But I won't rehash that. But Dwight, I want and the Dean, just understand. Everything that you guys have touched on today is intertwined with each other. Here they are. We have no energy strategy. We have no strategy with the College of the Bahamas. We have no strategy for Grand Bahama. We have no strategy for the Bahamas. We have no strategy for medical or diplomacy. Here's the point, the key point it says. They set a vision for the College of the Bahamas. Isn't it amazing that on the concept of a vision, you have a vision, but you hire people to build it? We have been, if you look in today's paper, it says that the government is looking for somebody with a vision to build Grand Bahama. We are looking for somebody with a vision to build medical. We are looking for somebody for a vision to build the Bahamas. Looking for somebody with a vision to build a College of the Bahamas. Can you find in the 20 years that I know of that we have tried to legitimize the University of the Bahamas through legislation, can you find a vision statement for that university that they could have hired Mr. Ian Strachan to hire people to build? You can't. It's ad hoc. Remember he said, every 3 years, every 5 years, whatever? That's the problem. Who understand what vision truly is. And so we've been mistaking ideas and plans as vision. They are not. You should be able to, a vision is the ability to stand in the future and express it in the present. Okay. We have not been having those things, and that's why we've had this ad hoc across every single thing. And the same thing with our energy, everything. And we keep doing the same thing. And I want us to wake up tomorrow and surprise that we got the same result. Thank you.
Okay, wow. Some text messages as we go to the break. This person says here, looks like we need a Haitian work program. It's discriminatory to have this arrangement with the Cuban government and not with the Haitian government.
How many is the same?
Got to process that one a little bit
because
there.
the Haitians get all their money. Like, if they work, they get 100%.
Well, they're saying we'd be able to, probably better be able to control migration.
Really?
If it's more organized. Got to think about that one. There might be something to it.
So if we had a program with Haiti that allows people to come to work here, we believe that would stop or minimize.
Maybe. It's possible. I mean, we still have people on sloops and makeshift rafts from Cuba occasionally. But I don't know. Got to think about it. Think about that one.
Yeah.
That's interesting. This person says it's a reversal of what he suggested last week in that beautiful speech. This is what the Prime Minister said last week. The appropriate response would have been to compare what top earners receive in Cuba compared to what they receive here, align it with top earners in Cuba. Really? Align it with local costs, demonstrate that the Cuban workers are able to support themselves here. I continuously shake my head at the grand PR statements this administration likes to put out, completely ignoring issues. Wow. Okay. All right. And this person says here, we are beating this horse too long regarding the Cuban workers. We have lived in a democratic society all our lives and cannot seem to wrap our minds around how communism works. Just as comfortable as with some of us are uncomfortable with our democracy structure, Cuban citizens, for the most part, love their country, and it's a form of governance. They're covered with utilities, healthcare, insurance, housing, etc. Okay. Hey, that's not the issue. The problem is the U.S. and their threats, right? I'm trying to make life difficult for everybody else.
Our visas.
We're going to go to the break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
There ain't no place for me to hide. Without you, there's no way I can sleep tonight. What I do for a little bit of peace and quiet. Without you, I keep slipping in the bad dreams. But there's no you and I.
Fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Are you ready to elevate your day with a burst of flavor? Look no further than Dunkin', your ultimate destination for everything delicious. From our freshly brewed coffee that is sure to pick you up, to our signature frozen beverages that will cool you down. And don't forget our mouth-watering sandwiches, made to order all day. Dunkin' has it all. And of course, our lineup of fresh donuts, muffins, and more. Dive into a world of yummy flavors at Dunkin' and bring joy to your day. The Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello? This Epic battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at Trailer.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Spring is here, and it's all about fun in the sun. And what better way to jumpstart your weekend than with a trip to the Sports Center for an exciting 15 to 20% off store-wide sale. Everything you need: beach umbrellas and chairs, beach toys, pool toys, and boogie boards starting from $19.99. All your favorite swimwear, including Salt Life and Quicksilver, starting from $26.95. Snorkeling gear, hats, sunblock, waterproof beach speakers, and more. Visit the Sports Center today, Harbor Bay, Mullet Marathon, and Sandyport, and get 15 to 20% off store-wide. Sale ends April 2nd.
Here's the Sure-winning art store moment from Shelley and Dee Dee.
We're the only full art store in the Bahamas. If we don't have it, we make a list, and trust me, our boss can get that. If you need that, he can get that. You can find sketchbooks, acrylics, the canvases in all sizes, stencils. We have the Angelus that they use on shoes and letters. We're the only persons in Nassau that carries the Montana spray. We have the Krylon sprays, watercolor oil, chalk paints, the alcohol paint, metallic paints, the little Floetrol, and we have cleaning products for the artists, thinning products for the artists, and Crayola colors, and glitters, pencils, the Posca markers, and pastels, oil, and the acrylic pastels, dyes. Oh yeah, we also have airbrush paint. I didn't forget that part of the movie. Gift sets, hobbycraft,
Oil shrimp,
clays.
stew shrimp gumbo. But art supplies. We have a lot of them. Sherwin-Williams Art Store. Find colour in every day.
It is time for your final look at weather for the morning, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams Paints got you covered for all your painting and equipment needs. Visit them online or in-store today. A cold front that moved through, it is over the southeast Bahamas now and should be exiting the area later today. But we still are dealing with the wind. We've got a near gale warning in effect for the Atlantic waters of the country until 6 a.m. Wednesday, and a near gale warning in effect for all other local waters until noon today. That cold front is going to exit the Bahamas and merge with the low-pressure system out of the Atlantic, just east of us right now, and that's going to result in hazardous marine conditions along Atlantic exposures for the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands. High-pressure ridging will build across the country for the next few days ahead of a dry cold front expected to enter the northwest Bahamas by Friday. So frequent wind gusts to near gale force likely to continue over the next few days. Boaters, especially small craft, urged to remain in port and in safe ports. And beachgoers are encouraged to stay out of the water as rough surf and a high risk of rip currents will pose life-threatening conditions. For today, for most areas, we're looking at partly sunny conditions with less than a 10% chance of showers. For the southeast Bahamas, though, as that front moves through, look for a 20 to 30% chance of showers and partly cloudy conditions today. Highs behind that front in the upper 70s, near 77 Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to the low to mid 60s. Around 64 Fahrenheit, even cooler for the extreme northern islands. And for the southeast and central Bahamas, highs in the the low to mid 80s and lows in the upper 60s. Your extended outlook for Wednesday, tomorrow, mostly sunny during the day, becoming fair at night. Thursday, mostly sunny during the day, fair at night, and by Friday, as that other front moves through, partly cloudy across the northern and northwest Bahamas, partly sunny across the central islands, and a mix of sun and clouds by Saturday. That's your morning blend weather check. Weather check also brought to you by Star General. Star General, insurance made simple. And your final look at traffic for the morning brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. It is looking pretty bad for you on Milo Butler Highway, folks. Heavy traffic just north of Carmichael, all the way through the Fire Trail and up to Tonic Williams Darling Highway if you're heading northbound this morning. Gladstone Road is going to be a better alternate route for you, but still busy from just north of Fire Trails up to Bahamar Boulevard, John F. Kennedy Drive. The road is also seeing heavy traffic from St. Vincent straight up to Independence Drive, back to both directions on Independence Drive, west and eastbound this morning. West Bay Street also seeing congestion near Saunders Beach as you head eastbound near Providence Highway and east of Arawaki into downtown Nassau, especially near Nassau Street. Eastern Road and pockets along Prince Charles Drive, especially heading to Robinson, also seeing heavy traffic this morning. And don't forget, roadworks on Blue Hill Road today between 9:30 and 2:30 p.m. That should be going on for most of the week. Keep that in mind if you're in that part of the island. That's your real-time traffic and your morning event traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solutions with RBC/loan/all of us.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 0.9 FM.
Boy, you don't know me, eh? You don't know who I is. Fool around and run your mouth. Check yourself, don't misbehave. What's that? Come on. Sting! Oh, you ain't know what I say. Come on. Back again.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan with DeQuesta Dean and their welcome home mortgage fair is this Saturday. Bank of the Bahamas Here to tell us all about this, very pleased to have with us Senior Manager of Mortgages, Ed Strachan, and Assistant Manager of Marketing, Rochelle Walker. Great to have you all back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Dwight.
Welcome.
All right, so I got to ask you, before we get details about the mortgage fair, we have real estate experts on every month, and they're telling us it is a booming market, but it seems like it's a booming market for the high-end folks. Is there something out there for regular folks like me and Duquesa?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can tell you, and as part of this campaign, and what is really amazing, Dwight, is for the first time, we're offering 100% financing for mortgages.
What?
Whoa.
Some restrictions apply.
Okay.
But that's still very impressive.
Excited. Yeah, come around here.
Yeah, listen.
That's still very impressive.
And so, I mean, what's key is this. But for this program, but for this opportunity, I can tell you, most persons don't have a home, Dwight, simply because they don't have the down payment or the closing costs.
Right.
So what if we take that away? How does that change your dynamic? We're excited.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Go a little deeper on that. So the down payment and the closing costs. You don't need to.
You need the closing costs.
Government, quasi-government.
Okay.
We do it all.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Including closing costs.
Including closing costs. Yeah. So listen. And all of you who are, and if you're listening to me now, it's by design. I don't believe in luck or happenstance. You guys who watch this are living without hope. And BOB has made a conscious decision to put real estate in the hands of the Bahamian people. That's you. That's you, Anthony. That's you, Sarah. That's you,
I love
Thomas.
it.
I promise you.
I love it.
I'm speaking to you.
Wow.
The decision is yours. Now, if we've taken away the excuse, why not just come and have a conversation? What do you lose? I can tell you, there's something without food, there's something without water, but I can tell you your life is so different without hope.
There's got to be a catch.
Yeah,
What's the
this-
catch? Is the interest rate going to be sky high? Is it going to be for 200 years? The mortgage? What's the deal?
So here's the thing. The interest rate won't be sky high. Will it be an uptick? Absolutely. But my question is, what's the bigger win? Here's the thing. If you did it yesterday and it didn't work, if you did it last week and it didn't work, if you did it last year and it didn't work, if you did it for the last 15 years and it didn't work, you have to do something different in order to get a different result. Come on. Watch this now. And here's what I know to be true. Nothing lasts forever. This door will close.
Okay.
I liken it to Noah.
Get in the
So
ark
this
while you
is
can.
is this like first time home purchases, or this is targeting specifically who? Anyone? Like you could have a home now and want to have a second home, or are there restrictions?
So primarily it's for the first time homeowners.
Okay.
But again, the door is wide open.
Okay.
And once again, what we find is that people are in different situations. So you may have your home, but here's what I also know to be true, right? You can have a home and be financially strapped.
Oh, yeah.
After you didn't pay Peter, John,
What they call it? House poor?
That. And so here's the thing. What if we can restructure you? Here's what's amazing. $200 may not sound like a lot to some people, but I can tell you,
That's a lot.
for others, that's grocery.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
For others, that's a school fee payment. Let's see how we can reposition you. Again, we're in different sections. Here's the thing. You know what I found to be
What?
true in the financial industry? Having interviewed persons for a long time, the number one cause of divorce isn't necessarily another person, statistically.
Yeah, it's true. It's financial.
Yep.
It's a thing.
Yep.
So if you every that's stress. And so what people are now doing is they're making the decision. I can do part of myself.
Wow.
Well, this is true.
This is real.
But I want clarity.
Certainly.
Because what I heard you say is that this is also an option for someone who currently has a mortgage and wants to
Restructure.
invest
in something else.
or wants you to take over their current mortgage situation. Is that what I'm hearing?
Buy, switch, build. It's
Yes.
all of it.
Oh.
That's a part of the thing. You can either switch, you can buy, or you can build. Okay.
Amazing.
So we're running the full gamut. And to even make it that much more easier for our people who are going to be coming out, every sphere of the home ownership process, we have it covered, and we will have these vendors on site on Saturday. We have appraisers, we have the insurance agents, we have real estate agents, we've got legal services, we've got lawn and gardening people there who are going to be offering you alternative power sources. You've got your hurricane window people.
Okay.
And even if you want to say, I want to use a little bit of fiscal prudence and buy some of my things overseas, and we have a shipping company there as well.
Wow.
So when I tell you we are running the full gamut, we're not playing any games this time.
Oh, so when you say quasi government,
Mm-hmm.
who are we saying here? Who's included in that?
So it would be Bahamas, it would be immigration, it would be everybody that actually, in that realm, we're open to. Now, we have everybody covered, including the self-employed. Now, not 100% for you, but my
All right, let's
position
talk
is
about
this.
it. What can you offer people?
What
who
we're
don't
going
work
to
for
do
the
is we're having persons on site who are able now, accountants, that kind of thing, to be able to guide self-employed persons how to make their business make sense, right? Because, again, in the interviewing process, what we found is persons, I said, okay, but what do you earn?
Right.
I think I earned this. I
Right.
believe I earned this. I know I make this. I said, okay, where do you deposit it? Well, I put some on and I keep some off. I said, listen to me.
Yeah, you gotta put all on.
You got to put all on in order
The
for us, the
records,
bank,
right.
to connect the dots.
Right.
So, again, full circle, including because we want to carry everybody forward.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So how long do you think this is going to last, that promotion there?
This time.
Saturday.
What?
You better come Saturday. That's all, Jesus. I tell you, that door.
Listen, I'll tell
Oh,
you,
wow.
the last time we did this fair, we advertised again, much as we're doing now, that it's 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. 7:30 in the morning, we had couples showing up on site with their yellow envelope with all their documents. We're still trying to set the table and put cloths on. That's okay, you all guys, carry on. We can wait. Until at some point we had to stop what we're doing, pull one or two people and say, please go and serve those. So once that's setting up, people just decided that they were not going to wait.
It's a great opportunity.
Because
I mean,
we've had hundreds show up. And I anticipate that because we have more vendors this time and we have more industry professionals, we think it's going to be
just talking
crazy.
about that little yellow envelope. What do people need to bring with them?
Go ahead, Ed.
So your job letters, your payslip, your
Definitely
passport,
want
your NIB card, your loan printouts. And listen, credit card printouts, whatever that looks like. My ask is this, though. Come with your honesty belt on.
Yeah.
Let's have a candid conversation. What the reality is also, you're going to find that people are in different spheres, different positions. I.e., person A, their financial position may be not too bad. Person B, we need to do a full restructure. We need to be, from a medical perspective, it may be putting back some limbs together, if that makes sense. But the idea is that nobody will be left unchanged. That's the idea, right? Put some money back in your pocket, put your they've had the home, they've lived their life, they've schooled their children, and they just taking it easy now. We actually have Automall who's going to be there. And so you may want to...
Also cars, too.
So we can bundle this thing.
Whatever you need.
Your new house and your new car park and the new driveway.
That
come on.
that right there. That.
So again, this is the Bank of the Bahamas Mortgage Fair this Saturday, and you were talking about this. You have a full mortgage center.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. So we're located on Carmichael Road, and again, BOB has made a conscious decision. We need to put homes in the hands of our Bahamian people, and for that reason, we brought it to the ground. Under the leadership of Neil Strachan, I can tell you, the bank has trajectory.
Got a bunch of Stracans. Got a bunch of Stracans.
Stand by. We and I can tell you, we can see it. I mean, it's on the ground. It's in social media. You can see that person's lives have been changed because of what we are offering.
Wow. All right. People asking lots of questions. This is the location again. This is going to be...
So it's going to be on at JFK at our new location. You can't miss that beautiful building on the strip.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So imagine it's set up, all the tents from the various vendors. It's going to be a whole atmosphere of just beautiful. And then all of the vendors are there to make sure that we service everybody and trying to get it out as quickly as we possibly can. It starts at 10 a.m., it ends at 4. But if you see it's at 4:15 and you almost there, still come.
Okay.
Because as long as we're still there, even if we're breaking down,
Right.
we will try our
Somebody,
best to make sure that
Okay.
somebody has a conversation with you. We don't want to leave anybody out. And so
We're even going to
want
have some medical professionals there.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
we're going to take your blood pressure. Because
Okay.
once again, finances and
Yeah,
pressure, I
yeah.
think the
If
twin
it's too
brothers-
high, will I not get a mortgage?
You know,
So-
Ed mentioned about having on your honesty belt. Remember, there is the credit bureau.
Right.
So
You check.
don't think you're going to leave something out and they won't find out.
right.
Once you might as well say, Miss, I owe Peter, Paul, and
Right,
Sydney.
and see what can happen. So you spoke about that. You spoke about the fact that this promotion is specifically targeting quasi-government and government workers at the moment, right? And so are you asking for only them to come, or are you like, okay, everybody come? Tell us, you know.
No. So for clarity, we're inviting everybody.
Okay, we're inviting everyone.
Every
Right.
single body. You, if you're looking for a home, because we're offering discounts on that
Okay,
day.
okay.
Different things. Because of our vendors, like attorneys, are offering discounts on their fees, etc.
Okay.
Appraisers on their fees, etc. We are assisting with closing costs for
Okay.
everybody.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
And so I'm saying, let's come and have a conversation.
Okay.
Let's put you on the road to home ownership. There's some
Mhm.
persons who we were on this radio last year who didn't move.
Okay.
I'm speaking to you. Move now. Did your life
Wow.
change? Is it any different? Come on, man. What if, Dwight? What if? What if?
Yeah.
What if you could have Christmas dinner at your table?
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
So question. So for the person that can't make it on Saturday, right? Is that does like digital or Zoom interviews, or like, let's just say this person can't come Saturday, but they work Monday to Friday. So they also are limited in their hours during the week to come, but they want to try to apply. What other avenues other than an in-person show up are available for that person?
So there's this thing called WhatsApp.
Right.
There's this thing called email, I can tell you. And so, Dwight, you have my card. I'd like you to give my my number. Send me an email.
Okay.
Mrs. Strachan, listen, I can't get there tomorrow for whatever reason. And let's log your name. Yeah? We want to capture you. To the extent that you actually reach out, it says that you, and you can't come, it says that you were there.
Right.
And so we'll have that conversation.
Yeah.
We don't want to leave you behind.
All right, so give some advice to folks who are maybe they're not ready this year, even though this deal is amazing, but next year they will be, or they want to get in a better position. What advice would you give to buy and need a new car all at the same time, and have concerns about insurance? What would you say to them?
Love it. Come be there on Saturday. See, because everything starts with a roadmap. If you are planning for next year, what does that look like? Come to the professionals. We will then put you on a plan that will ensure that next year, this time, you're in your home and you're ready. Yeah?
Don't go on it. Don't go at it by yourself.
Man, make it make sense. Make it make sense, right? And so what I found is person say, okay, I can do this. I will. But if you don't have a plan, watch this. If you don't have somebody you're accountable to, and that's another thing. What does your circle look like, Bahamas land? What does that look like? Yeah.
And people like to copy what other people did. That won't work for them.
It cannot.
necessarily.
It cannot. And so we're now, BOB believes in financial life change. We want to see how we can make your lives better. Please hear me. My name is Ed Strachan, and I'm your friend. Let's see how we can have your life change on Saturday.
Dwight, I'd like to add here, we have something special as well for people who are going to come out. If you allow, the first person that can call in, give you their name and contact information, we have something extra special. They're gonna jump the line. We already know 200, 300, 400 people. You reach and all you see is people.
You straight.
First person call here today to you. We have VIP concierge service. They just have to show up, tell us their name, we match it with what you gave us.
All right, so we this person's been on hold for a bit. They've been. I don't know if you want to give it to them if they're still there.
If they're patient and they were there.
But let's see if the caller's still there. Caller, are you there? You probably had some specific questions.
Morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Good morning.
Hey, morning. Yeah, I really love the topic today, right? Because of a high inflation in the world today, I keep on telling people if you want to purchase a house and get in your home, now is the time to do it because the price is just going up. I have several questions for your guests today pertaining what they're doing. One, is there any penalties if you pay your loan off? Because I have several people that are looking for homes right now. But I have some questions. If you pay your loan off before time. The second question I'd like to ask, some banks, one or two banks, I'm not going to call any names, are asking for contingency fees, which is a percentage that they put into the bank just in case a contractor that doesn't have sufficient funds to complete the project, that they dip into that. Are you guys asking for that? The next thing I'm asking is if the individual has their own architect, do you allow them to utilize their own architects, or the bank has someone that they refer them to? And another thing I'd like to ask you guys, right? The percentages on your rates.
You remember all these questions? A lot of questions.
On the loans.
Let's answer those two first.
I'll hang up for your
Let's talk about
response.
those ones.
Okay, that was a lot. Thank you very much. Do you wanna stay on the line, caller. They want to offer you something special for Saturday. Okay,
Well,
he's gone.
it's
Oh
gone.
boy.
I think the first was around paying up early. We allow principal payments, so
Okay.
you can do that. The second, the ones that I remember would be around rate. I can tell you on Saturday we expect it to be hot and heavy, and
Okay.
with some big discounts. Yeah. The other question, Dwight, was I really don't know.
Architects.
Architects.
Yes.
No. So you do your thing. You can get your own architect. Remember, Ministry of Works need to approve your plan.
Right, and the bank does have a list of preferred service provider, and I'm sure somebody on there is gonna suit their fancy.
Okay.
And the last thing was around the contract contingency. So no. So we at BOP
Contractor should
do
have
not require that. But I can tell you, there's heavy vetting for the contractor. So your contractor needs to make sense, right? References and that sort of thing to know and believe and trust that he can or she can pull this construction process off. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, so one more thing I forgot to ask your guests, right? Some banks, they're actually asking for your plans to be fully approved through the Ministry of Works prior to even entertaining the application, which the Ministry of Works takes approximately, I'll say, 10 to 12 weeks to approve plans. So you're actually waiting about 12 weeks before the bank even entertains you in getting the loan. Are you guys asking for one stamp from the ministry, or are you guys asking for a full set of approved plans prior to even entertaining the individual in the loan?
So
Okay, don't hang up, caller. Stay on the line. We want to get your name and number. They want to offer you something for Saturday.
So we can entertain an application, but it will be in principle, right? Nothing is finalized, of course, until you have final approval from the Ministry of Work. So yes, you have to get final approval on those paperwork in order for us to move forward with the project.
Yeah.
For final
Okay.
approval on your application. Yeah.
All right. You want to add anything? Final call. This final call before we just summarize exactly what's going to be happening on Saturday. Again, caller, let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Let them know that they could put cash in my Bank of Bahamas account. I'll leave that. For my price. But the question I want to know is, what is the? It's like 4 questions. What is it? No, maybe we just may make it into 2 or 3. Since you say Grand Bahama, we're not buying no ticket to come to you. You said you got a WhatsApp and a email. Can you provide that? And then my secondary question: what is the interest rate right now? And is it possible that you can break down, besides the mortgage payments, that creates the cumulative thing, like life insurance, mortgage insurance, home insurance, whatever, that has to be considered to be included as part of your total payments? Thanks.
Love the question. And so we don't insurance. Yeah. A heavy thing that you need to be mindful of course, is homeowners insurance. And it's a necessary thing. Yeah. We are in a hurricane belt, so the bank does require that you have that for the duration of the facility. As it relates to rates, of course, that we are offering reduced rates specifically. I can't speak to that, but I'm sure on Saturday it's going to be great. So.
This texter is asking, if I switch my mortgage to you and I owe real property tax, would you give me money to pay off my back taxes?
So yes is the short answer, provided that that's the only thing that was back. So you can't have X bank back and this bank back, and so that's concerning, right?
Okay.
But we found that there are sometimes some gaps as it relates to that, and so yes, we're open to seeing how we can address that as well.
All right, Edward Strong, you want to give that that WhatsApp number? People are asking for it.
All right, yeah, you can go ahead
Yeah.
and you can say that.
This is the mobile one, right?
Right, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
So that number is 422-4927. We'll post this on our
Certainly, and the email
page
address,
as well.
certainly.
Right?
Appreciate that.
And edward.strawn@bankbahamas.bs.
They can also email loans@bankbahamas.com.
Okay, great stuff. Well, so remind folks what's happening Saturday.
March 22nd, John F. Kennedy Drive, BOB, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Be there or you'll be sorry. There's nothing else I can say.
It's a great deal.
Spread the news. The good
Yeah.
news.
Oh, man.
There's the good news, right?
Zero down.
We cover the government a lot at Guardian. Can we qualify for it? Anyway, I had to
that's
try.
cute.
Edward Strawn, Rochelle Walker, always great talking
Did we
with
get
both of you.
our
Yes,
person?
yes, we
Yeah,
got it. I'm going to
yes,
send
yeah,
it to you right
okay.
now. Great stuff. Saturday, the Welcome Home, BOB Mortgage Fair, JFK Drive, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you,
this morning.
Dwight. Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break for news and be back with business. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Pinder is carrying a new line of tile, the Sky series of porcelain. It comes in 4 colors, Sky Noir, Sky Azure, Sky Gris, and this one, Sky Glance. In this particular tile, I think you'll find coin gray, silver gray, cloud gray, and gray, seamlessly blended to make the Sky Glance one beautiful tile. The Sky series of porcelain comes in 2 formats, 24 by 24 at $5.30 a square foot and 12 by 24 at $5.25 a square foot.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
What if I told you Wendy's has a new burger? With a flavor so secret, it's almost too delicious to handle. Well, now it's time to unlock that flavor. Try the new sweet and smoky barbecue cheeseburger. We can't tell you everything, but we can tell you that it's packed with flavor, including our secret barbecue sauce. Try the new sweet and smoky barbecue cheeseburger today. Available for a limited time.
Are you ready to indulge in the islands of the Bahamas? Take off to TCI, hop over to Havana, or fly to Florida? No matter the destination, jumpstart your journey with Bahamas Air, the national flight carrier of the Bahamas. Take advantage of our frequent flyer program and exclusive hotel and car deals. Book your flight now at bahamasair.com or visit your local ticket sales office in Nassau or Grand Bahama. Bahamas Air, we don't just fly here, we live here.
Hola, República Dominicana. Send 3 money transfers using GK Money Services Western Union, and you'll be automatically entered to win a trip for 2 to Punta Cana. Price includes airfare, transportation, and 3 nights at an all-inclusive resort. Follow us on social at GKMSBAH for more info. Hola, República Dominicana. Send today with Grace Canadian Money Services and Western Union. Promotion ends March 31, 2025.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Tuesday, March 18th, 2025. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Duquesa Dean, and it is time for our monthly series, a Chamber Hour with the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation. We are very pleased to have with us this morning Vice Chair of the Chamber, Don Williams. Good
morning, Dwight. Morning, Duquesa. Morning, Bahamas. It's great to be here.
Good morning.
All right, so we got a lot to talk about, a lot going on. We're going to talk about the trade missions that you have in a bit, but we want to begin with the tariff war. This back and forth with the U.S. and everybody, it seems, Canada, Mexico, the European Union, China. Impacts, are we feeling impacts here in the Bahamas as yet? And what is this going to look like in the next few weeks to months?
From our members, seeing an impact as yet. It's something that we're constantly monitoring. Obviously, it is the hot button topic in our country that's rolling around. And that is why we are actually working so diligently to have a lot of those inbound, outbound trade missions. Obviously, there's great impact with the trade war and the importance for diversification of distribution channels. Hence why we're actually going to be having a trade mission to India next month in hopes of being able to now reach other channels for the construction industry.
Right. Let's talk more about that and how important it is to look for alternative markets outside the U.S. to source materials and goods.
So in terms of looking for new trade routes, that is something that the Chamber has always advocated for. As you're aware, our three slogans is the advocacy, advice, and access. One of the things we've done in that regard, I've already mentioned India. We just recently had an inbound mission from Canada. We're having one as well for trade distribution. We're trying to connect as many businesses and persons in the business community to new opportunities where they can get quality goods and services, and not just the import, Dwight. I think that is something that's always communicated, that we're always importing. We're also looking for ways that we can have Bahamians export goods and services as well.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about India specifically. What we anticipating is going to come out of this, and is it too late for businesses to be a part of the delegation that's going to be going there?
So in terms of the delegation, it is too late. Unfortunately, we have been oversubscribed, Dwight. I have to say that it has been a very rewarding experience so far for us at the Chamber. Our CEO, Dr. Leo, tremendous job in spearheading that effort. The numbers that we started with just having 40 persons going from the business community. We're now up to 80 delegates that will be going to that mission between April 10th to the 18th.
Oh boy, it's close. Okay. Yeah. And again, you say it's mainly construction, right?
It's mainly for the construction industry, but while we are there, we're going to take the opportunity to liaise with key stakeholders to understand what else we can obtain from India, as well as what can the Bahamas offer India in return.
Wonderful stuff.
And once we return, obviously, we will have the necessary meetings. The beauty part about the Chamber is we have a wide range of strategic partners, whether it be the government, other business organizations like the Small Business, SBDC, that allows us to reach out as best as possible so that we can therefore forward the necessary information on.
Yeah. It might just be me. I maybe I just don't know, but I don't know if I would have thought of India when it comes to construction. Tell us more about that, how that came about that India would be. You think of so many other things, but India, that's interesting.
So India is a global power within itself, Dwight, whereby they're known for their cheap labor, if you will. So whether it would be call centers, whether it be for tech, but they're also branching out into other industries, so such as manufacturing, construction, and those are the things that we want to start to take advantage of early, so that obviously we give the Bahamian community and the business community the advantage of those opportunities.
Excellent.
I don't know. I can't picture it, so that's why I'm asking the question from a logistic standpoint. I know you can ship things from anywhere, but what getting product from India to the Bahamas look like? Like what would there be greater cost, less cost? Like, can we speak to that?
And vice versa.
Yes.
From here to there.
So the question, that is an interesting question. Sorry, not an interesting question, but it's a great question. The logistics is something that we've been working on diligently for the past few months. In fact, that is one of the reasons why a few members from our delegation are actually within the logistics community. We have about 5 logistics companies that are coming with us that will assist in determining, is it beneficial for us to ship all goods and services from India, vice versa, from the Bahamas to India, based upon the necessary B2B meetings that we will be having, as well as with the business community and the government of India. We'll definitely be able to make sure that it is cost effective to do so. We're not just going to connect the dots and it's actually more expensive to do business with India than it would be the US or China or Africa or any one of our Caribbean counterparts, if you will.
Okay. All right. So we want to talk about some of the other missions in a bit, but we know we just had the Bahamas Canada innovation trade mission. I understand there's been some positive developments. More about that.
The Canada inbound mission, fantastic mission. We have had some great success, like you said, Dwight. We have 3 potential MOUs that we're looking for to have signed within the next month or so. And we will be following up with those businesses, not just to ensure that the MOUs are signed, but to help to guide them through the path of making sure that it is a constant and fruitful relationship. I know we speak upon these inbound and outbound missions a lot. One of the things that we have been working diligently to do at the Chamber is to be able to let the public understand the successes as well that happens from these missions.
Yeah, can you give us any details, or we got to wait to see when they are fully signed?
I will have to wait until they're fully signed, but once they are, the public can look out for. We'll definitely be back on your show, Dwight, for the Chamber Hour, but they can look out on any of our social media handles as well, the Bahamas Chamber, and we will put it out there for the public.
All right. Looking forward to that. Again, folks, we're talking with the Vice Chair of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation, Don Williams. All right, so there's a whole lot going on. You've got China, you've got Dubai, you've got Africa. It's going to be a busy year for you and your members. After India, which one is next?
After India, we're working diligently on China, on outbound mission to China, as well as one to Africa as well. We're definitely going to keep the public as well as the business community updated on all of those once we've locked in all of the details, so that anyone that wants to participate, and you don't necessarily have to be a member. We encourage you to be a member, Dwight, but we want the Bahamas, the business community, the family, that the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce advocates for all businesses, whether large or small, and we will disseminate the necessary information so that everyone has the opportunity to take advantage of what we have to offer.
Yeah. All right. So for the China one, do you have dates for that as yet? And is there specific agenda for this one, like how the Indian one is construction? Is there focus for the China mission?
So we're still finalizing the details, and once we have, then we'll definitely disseminate the information out.
Okay. So it's not too late if you want to be a part of that one.
China or...
It's not too late.
Okay.
It is not too late.
Africa.
Like I said, once we're able to finalize the full details, we try to curate our trade missions so that when we get there, it is not just a shake hands opportunity, but if let's go back to India, for example. We're taking key persons in the construction industry, not just businesses, we're actually taking a few of the government agencies as well to assist, because obviously you have agencies like the Ministry of Works, the National Insurance Board. They do a lot of construction within our country, and we want them to be a part of that. So we'll definitely be rolling out the necessary information as quickly as possible.
Right. Yeah. Okay. We'll get back to the other missions in a bit.
Okay, so I have a question about this on and off again, trade war. So I heard you say earlier that currently the impacts for the Bahamas right now are minimal. What would your suggestion to the business community be to, to stay ahead of that? Because with 25% on Mexico, 50 or 100% on Canada and 10% on China, a lot of us are bringing goods in from the U.S. who are obviously bringing them in from other countries. So what advice would you give to the business community about either how they can stay ahead of something like that, or things that they can do now to inflation-proof, right, their businesses?
Well, firstly, we always encourage Bahamians to support local, shop local. In terms of inflation-proofing your businesses, we're encouraging everyone to diversify as best as possible. While for certain goods and services, there are some competitors that offer the same goods and services at a cheaper rate. We need to start shopping around more, looking for better trade routes and opportunities. We may have to collaborate in some efforts, so to bring in goods in bulk. If you have, let's say, 5 businesses, you're all bringing in the same form of goods and services, or maybe using the same vendor. This may be the time to collaborate a little bit to ensure that you can get the best pricing. If you need to increase inventory at a certain degree, you can. So we're encouraging businesses as best as possible to do the research, seek out the competitive pricing, competitive goods and services that will assist them in having the competitive edge and being ahead of the game.
Yeah. We are talking with Don Williams, the Vice Chair of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation. We've got a couple calls coming in. Let's take these quickly before we get back to some of the trade missions. Good morning, caller. You are on the air.
Godly Dayton Strachan away along with you and the rest of Dwight.
Hi,
Morning.
very while.
Well, I'll be listening.
Wonderful.
Yeah. But with the gentleman also to you, a godly day to you, big brother. Ask you, right? When it comes to the dialoguing between the government and China, what China objectives are for pertaining to the Bahamas?
You mean in respect to the trade mission?
I can't hear you properly.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're meaning in respect to the trade mission?
Well, whatever sort of communication in which you all had developed.
So our communication with... Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Mm-hmm.
So our communication with China in terms of any form of trade, it is in respect to how we can best promote the business community of the Bahamas. That means we're looking for either the best set of goods and services we can import, or, and to be honest, this is what we advocate for most, how can we therefore export our goods and services to those countries? In terms of China, we've had a conversation with the ambassador already in terms of having a lot of our Orange community members be able to advertise on a lot of the social channels that China has.
Yeah. Well, definitely with the threats and the back and forth from the U.S., I can imagine that eliminating the U.S.
Yeah.
Right, the
Yeah.
middleman
Right.
in getting goods from, especially some certain Chinese
Correct.
companies, if we can get them directly here,
Directly.
would be
Cut that
very,
out.
very beneficial
Yeah.
to a lot of people. I don't know if that is consideration, Don, and how that would work.
It's just the length of time, I guess, that it would take
It
to
is.
ship an item. But
Logistics
it
is the
possible.
sorry to cross up.
Go ahead.
I do apologize. Logistics has always been the greatest concern, if you will, from the business community in terms of doing business with China. Obviously, just getting a vehicle will take you anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks, depending on how and when you order it. But those are things that the business community considers in terms of getting the goods to market at a fair price that consumers can afford.
Yeah. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, morning, Dwight. New guest, how you doing?
Doing well.
Hey, Rita, I love the fact that your guest is on the show today, right? Because I want him to look into hemp rebars and industrial hemp fibers. It's actually stronger than steel, and it's also environmental friendly, and it's also lighter than steel also, right? Second thing I want to comment on is that I strongly suggest that your guests, when you deal in business with China, that a lot of products are actually inferior products, and you need to look on the back of those labels, because some of the stuff have cancer-causing materials. For example, do you know that you can catch cancer from just holding your mouse pad? The materials that it's made out of causes cancer and birth defects. So a lot of products that you just touching, right, you could actually get sick from. And also, I want the third and last comment I'd like to make, right? I think that someone need to have a dialogue with the world leaders, because right now that what they're doing is they're actually having a pissing competition, see who is, and it's actually affecting everyone in the world today, and that is really going to cause the economy to crumble. Thank you. I'll hang up for your guest comments.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll definitely take that into consideration. The one thing that we do is ensure that we encourage businesses to definitely do the necessary research. Ensure that you're aware of what products, any goods and services that you're about to obtain, that it is of high quality and it is free of any necessary harmful, whether chemicals or materials.
Can Freeport play a big role in helping with the logistics issue that you talked about before? What is that a possibility there?
Most definitely, Dwight. One of the campaigns that we've done is Conclave, where we're getting all of the chambers from all of the family islands together. In terms of Freeport, we are going to be liaising with the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce a lot more. We're starting with Abaco on Wednesday. I believe Dr. Roll is en route there right now, where we're going to be sitting down to find out how best we can collaborate and allow businesses the opportunity to understand the opportunities of moving their goods and services maybe through Freeport easier than Nassau.
Right.
As well as it gives that extra boost to the Freeport community as well.
Absolutely. All right, that's great. So everything's on the table. Africa and Dubai, what can you tell us about that? What are we looking at there?
I like Dubai. You just added Dubai.
Oh, that's not. Did I make?
We have some work to do, Dwight.
Okay. Oh, wow.
We clearly have some work to do.
All right. Well, tell us about Africa then.
So Africa, as you know, the Bahamas have been communications with Africa for many items. Most recently, I believe everyone's aware of Exim Bank being down here and giving their commitment of understanding what else Africa has to offer. We're trying to understand what all goods and services are down there that can be exported, also what can be imported as well. The distance obviously is something that we're working on, as well as it's a bit of a cost. So one of the logistical tasks that we have to do at the chamber is making these trade missions as cost effective as possible so that persons have the opportunities go and visit and not just be on a Zoom call or webinar.
All right.
So hopefully we'll be able to bring back once we've targeted the specific industries, we're gonna see who we can take down as well as what goods we can bring back or samples for the business community to try out.
Excellent. And does there seem to be much of a demand in the African nations for Bahamian goods and products?
The African nations, from what we've gathered just from our surveys and interactions, they're interested in our culture, our cultural items more so. Now, we're still exploring other options. What services can be exported as well. I believe services are a lot more easier to export nowadays, especially with the Orange community. And we believe that the Bahamas we're some of the most talented people in the world. So we're definitely going to see how we can export our culture as much as possible.
Excellent. All right. So you mentioned it earlier that you don't need to be a member to go on some of these missions, but there are definitely membership benefits. Let's talk about that. What do you get if you're a member of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce?
And do you get any additional benefits for the trade missions?
So being a member of the Chamber of Commerce, the immediate benefits you get is the access, right? So access comes a lot quicker to members because obviously they have access to our mailing list. Members tend to share discounts between other members in terms of goods and services. A lot more quickly. So whether it's funding, you have access to some of our strategic partnerships. I think I mentioned SBDC earlier. We do membership highlights as well, networking events. Some of those networking events are only member directed. And we do a lot of educational courses as well. So we just relaunched the Chamber's Educational Institute. And members obviously get discounts from the courses where you can now give your staff an opportunity to upgrade themselves, and business owners as well. So a lot of our meetings, whether it's trade missions, whether it is access to our networking events, export potentials, our mailing lists, the list goes on, Dwight.
All right. And do you have to have a business? Can you just be somebody who's concerned about the business community and the business environment? How does that work exactly?
So while we do encourage you to have a business, Dwight, we really do encourage you to have a proper business. So we would love for you to go through the process of getting your business license. If you do not have a business and you're just starting up, like I said, we're here for the full MSME scope. So even if you have not gotten your business license, but you're interested, you have questions, you have concerns, please reach out to the Chamber. Our numbers are 322-2145, or you can email us at info@thebahamaschamber.com. Our website is thebahamaschamber.com. Our office is right there on Collins Avenue, number 2 Shirley Street in Collins Avenue. We're here to assist in answering any questions to make your process as seamless as possible. We're advocating as much as possible for the ease of doing business, and we're working diligently with the government as well to ensure that we're getting to that process of, bank accounts are easier to open, business licenses are access and renew, real property taxes, the rates of VAT and charges and penalties and fees. All of those are things that we advocate for on members and the business community's behalf.
All right. We've got another call here, Don Williams. Let's take this one. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Dwight. Good morning. Good morning to Quest, and good morning, Mr. Williams.
Morning.
Good morning.
Williams, you mentioned a few minutes ago about networking. Have you ever thought about networking with other regional countries, CARICOM countries, that you negotiate with these various companies as a block and making Freeport the distribution center, and The other question I have, I know that the U.S. said that they will be imposing $1 million tax or penalty on any ships that are made in China or whatever landed in the U.S. And I think Tropical Shipping issued a PSA a few days ago. So obviously that will indubitably affect the cost of goods that transshipment throughout from China into state. Can you speak to that?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Great questions. You got those
So,
down?
great question. So, sorry, Dwight.
Yeah. Just wondering, you got all the questions. Mm-hmm.
So, just to answer his first question, where we do liaise with a lot of the international bodies as best as possible. Now, in terms of setting up something in Freeport, that is something we would definitely have to sit down and coordinate. Obviously, for a meeting of that sort, it's a lot of moving parts. So we could put it on our agenda. I will definitely bring it up to the wider chamber and to see if we can make that possible. I don't make any promises, but it is a great idea. Now, in terms of tropical shipping making the statement, we're still waiting to see what the impact is going to be. Whether it is a slight rise. Obviously, we're expecting these fees to cost an increase in shipping costs. The shipping cost, businesses therefore transfer that to the consumer.
Mm-hmm.
We need to see if these increases will be nominal or significant to the point where we now have to completely reroute. Thankfully, companies like Tropical Shipping, they liaise with the chamber on a regular basis. So the more information that they get, they're able to liaise back with us, and we can make the necessary decisions as well as roll out informative information. Because I do know that in terms of the public, sometimes the information that gets out there is not as accurate. Mm-hmm. And as a result, not everyone is able to make the necessary informed decisions.
I mean, I know you won't comment on this, but I mean, the pettiness of this, the ship is made in China, that is gonna, I mean, but what? That's just wild.
Trying to get me in trouble, Dwight.
you don't have to respond. You don't have to respond. Let's take this call really quickly. Our final call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Pardon me for calling back, Dwight. What I want to say to the gentleman, we have a lot of children in the United States of America, and place an open door must be established for them to come back when they desire to.
Okay. Interesting. It's a lot of people.
Can you repeat that for me?
He's saying that
cut in and out on me.
We've got to find a way to entice the many Bahamians who are in other parts of the world, especially in the United States, to come back home. That's a tricky one there.
That's a deep one.
Yeah. What are Bahamian businesses doing to attract talent that has decided the Bahamas is too small for me and make a contribution to the country?
You know, Dwight, that is a very interesting question. We look at it two ways, Dwight. So while we see that there is a bit of a brain drain, as most persons would say in the country, because Bahamians aren't coming back home, we also look at it as when we're exporting to the world from the Bahamas, one of the things we export is services and people. Bahamians that are working around the world, whether at NASA, Google, etc., in the healthcare industry, they were trained most of the time. They started their education here in the Bahamas. We need to get to the point where we find that equilibrium, if you will, where we're still retaining a lot of that knowledge, the skill, and some of it still gets exported as well.
Let's see if we can squeeze this in very quickly. Running out of time. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning and thanks, Dwight. A quick question. there's a popular leader who's becoming unpopular, who believes that imposing tariffs on countries is going to affect the country he's imposing the tariff on, when popular accounting principles state that it's going to affect the citizenry of the country who have to receive it. Now, I'm wondering, can you identify what's the reasoning behind that thinking? I'm believing that he's hoping that by reducing the dollar, it's going to cause other countries to buy the dollar, and that will cause the dollar to increase. Could you give me an idea as to what's going on in this character's head? I'll hang up my...
Oh, boy.
That's a tough question.
Yeah, that's what's going on in his head is really, really difficult.
Yeah.
Maybe he's trying to force them to purchase products that are produced and in
right. That's what he
where
said,
he's
right?
from,
That locally produced
Yeah.
American products. That's what
Right.
he's hoping to do. But
they don't have everything that they need. So
right, that's what they were
Right.
saying, right, Donna? That
Right.
the American products
Right.
are often sourced from other
Are
parts of
way-
the world.
yes.
Right.
Exactly.
So, local.
Right. And we understand from the point of view of you want to support and have all of the production and sales within the country. I mean, we advocate for that every day. Buy local, produce local as best as possible. But it's not sustainable 100%.
Right.
I don't think any country does it to that extent. But in terms of his complete rationale and understanding, I don't believe any of us can speak on that.
No.
One more time, Don Williams, let people know how they can reach the chamber and find out more information about any of the wonderful things that you all are doing.
The Chamber of Commerce, we can be reached at 322-2145. The team in the office will be happy to take your call. And you can email us at info@the-Bahamas Chamber. And you can reach us on any of our social medias, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, at the Bahamas Chamber or the Bahamas Chamber 242.
Okay. Don Williams, Vice Chair of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us this morning.
Have a great day.
Thank you for having me.
All right. We're going to take a quick break and be back to wrap things up. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Everybody Wins Live is bringing you the ultimate giveaway, a brand new Cybertruck. For every $30 spent, you're in the drawing for the ultimate grand prize, a Cybertruck. Join live at the Vibes Cartel concert March 29th. You'll also be automatically entered to win tickets to see the world boss himself. 25 lucky winners every single week. Visit everybodywinslive.com to get into the game. See website for full terms and conditions. Must be 18 or over to participate.
Can you describe your mother in one word? It's fun, loyal. However you describe her, Pandora Jewelry is here to help you find the perfect gift for your one-of-a-kind mom this Mother's Day. Choose a piece from the all-new Bonds of Love collection, or give her something personalized like a necklace, ring, or charm from our floating locket collection. This Mother's Day, do celebrate who she is. Shop Pandora Jewelry now. Visit us at Pandora 329 Bay Street at the corner of Parliament Street.
Don't want to wait until Thanksgiving or Christmas to remodel? You're in luck. Nassau Tile is having a pre-holiday sale from October 24th to the 29th. You can save 25% off ceramic tiles and 20% off store-wide on tiles, thinset, grout, and mosaics. We have the best tile experts ready to help you select the right tiles for your kitchen, backsplash, living room, bathroom, or patio. Visit our showroom at 43 Dowswell Street and save big with Nassau Tile.
Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello? This Epic battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326-EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
You work hard for your money, so let your money work hard for you. With as little as $1,000 to start, you can watch your money grow by investing in CFAL's Bahamian dollar and US dollar mutual funds, each tailored to match your unique investment profile. Our expert advisors are dedicated to crafting personalized investment strategies to help you achieve your financial goals. Don't miss out on the chance to earn higher returns on your hard-earned money. Join the thousands of investors who trust CFAL and start your journey toward financial freedom today. Visit us at cfal.com to learn more about our saving and investment options. And let us help you build wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
It's time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Bahamas Power and Light BPL signing a power purchase agreement with NT Corporation for the development of New Providence's first utility-scale solar power plant producing power for New Providence. Prime Minister Philip Davis speaking at the signing at the Blue Hills Power Station yesterday, saying the agreement accelerates the Bahamas' goal of having 30% of the country's power produced by renewable energy by the year 2030. He says that NT's solar project will integrate seamlessly with the national grid, adding critical capacity at the Blue Hills Power Station. 70 megawatts of solar power will be supported by 35 megawatts of battery storage. He says the system is designed to stabilize, sustain, and support the growing energy demands of the country. The solar plant is being developed by NT under the company Madeline Solar Power Limited. Principal of NT Owen Bethel says the company was named after his granddaughter. And the board of directors of the Bahamas Investment Fund declaring a second dividend payment of $1.47 per share for shareholders of the Nassau Cruise Port. The notice to shareholders on the dividend payment explains that cruise passenger volumes continue to grow at the port, boding well for the future revenues of the cruise port. And owner of Bahama Grill, Eric Gibson Jr., is taking legal action in response to scurrilous Facebook posts about his establishments of some of its patrons. Gibson telling Guardian Business that he spoke with his lawyer and made a visit to a local police station to file a criminal libel complaint against a Facebook contributor and group alleging that Bahama Grill's food has resulted in the deaths of 3 individuals. You can read more about that story in today's Guardian Business section. Overseas, China's energy and auto giant BYD announcing an ultra-fast EV charging system that it says is nearly as quick as a fill-up at the pumps. BYD, China's largest EV maker, saying Monday that its flash chargers can provide a full charge for its latest EVs within 5 to 8 minutes, similar to the amount of time needed to fill a fuel tank. It plans to build more than 4,000 of the new charging stations across China. Charging times and limited ranges have been a major factor constraining the switch from gas and diesel vehicles to EVs, though Chinese drivers have embraced that change, with sales of battery-powered and hybrid vehicles jumping 40% last year. In your Market Watch recapping trading on the BISX from Monday, your market movers, AML Foods Limited moving 800 shares, closing at $5.95 unchanged. Bahamas Waste moving 1,000 unchanged at $10.97. Consolidated Water up 13 cents, closing at $5.81. Emira Incorporated up 2 cents, closing at $10.08. The BISX All Share Index closing at 3,024.1. Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. Duke Quesadine, thank you so much for being here this morning. Really appreciate you being in studio with us today.
Yes, had a great time. Thank
I'll see you next week.
Yes.
I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, have a great day, everybody. Stay tuned for Aaron Green and On the Clock next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.